So what's up, guys? RDAPdan here. We're on YouTube Live. So thought we would talk to you guys a little bit today. Actually, I'm just getting ready for a boring day. It's a Super Bowl Sunday, and I'm gonna go work out here in about an hour, hour and a half. And I thought I would just chat with you guys for a little bit on some interesting topics that a lot of people seem to have been talking about since President Trump has taken office. A lot of people are worried about what this is going to do to prison reform and what Obama was starting to do with pardoning people. So I kind of wanted to get your guys' feedback on it and hear your thoughts on this whole thing. I'm still learning how to use this here, so bear with me here for a second. And talking about so anyway, so what are your guys' thoughts on what do you think is going to happen? Are you worried that it's going to turn around and they're going to start getting tougher on crimes, whether it be violent crimes, non-violent crimes? Do you think it's not going to change at all? You know, because when you look at what Obama did, he pardoned, what was it, something like 800 and something people through his period of time in office. But when you really look at that math, it's cool to see people getting pardoned that were sent to prison for nonviolent, maybe drug offenses or nonviolent white-collar crimes. To see these people that have been down for a while to get their sentence reduced or just completely, you know, wiped out. But when you look at how many people are actually going into the prison system, we're talking mass numbers. There's somewhat, over 2 million people that are incarcerated right now. So the number of people that are being sent to prison, whether it be federal prison or state prison, or even a lot of juveniles are getting a lot of time right now. And prison's not just in prison. You've got all these people that are still on probation and halfway house and home monitoring. When you look at how many people are actually going into that system, and to see that, yeah, he pardoned 800 people, but that's not fixing any type of problem or issue. The problem is whether it be the federal government, whether it be state, local, it seems like they have way too much power on just locking people up for ridiculous amounts of time. Regardless of what someone has done in the past, if you've got somebody that's a first-time offender, somebody that, they didn't murder somebody, they weren't out there, raping, hurting people, they made some mistakes, and to see these people get thrown away for 10, 15, 20 years, when yes, maybe a punishment is deserved, but does it really take 15 or 20 years for somebody to learn the mistakes that they made? So I can't wholeheartedly say that what Obama did or was trying to do was really all that great, from my opinion, just because what he was doing was making himself look good, and he was getting some people on TV and holding these interviews of these guys that have been down for 10 or 15 years, and it was awesome to see these guys getting released. But what it's doing is it's taking the real focus away of the real problem, which is, why are we continually putting people in prison for such a lengthy amount of time? So I'm wondering now what Donald Trump is going to do about this, or if he's just going to leave it alone. That's going to be some proof in the pudding there. What are your other views on Donald Trump? He's talking about getting rid of, the Obamacare and making it tougher for people to qualify for food stamps and, assistance, whether it be housing, food, clothing, money, cell phones. Right now, there's a lot of programs out there where a lot of people can take advantage of these different services that were available, that was put out by the Obama administration. I think a key word, something I just said, is take advantage. And again, I'm torn down the middle on this. You've got people that, don't get me wrong, absolutely need a helping hand, need some assistance. But for those of you that are actually paying attention to more than just what you're seeing on social media and what you're actually seeing by doing your own homework and digging into it, there's a lot of fucking people taking advantage of this system. People that aren't attempting to get jobs, people that are not attempting to stop using drugs, people that are not attempting to use birth control and stop mass producing when you can't already take care of the children that you have. It's kind of sad, because what could have been a good thing with, you know, all of this healthcare and reformed healthcare and healthcare assistance could have been a really good thing, in my opinion, if it was monitored and actually divvied out to people that actually needed it, and you're put on it for a period of time. I mean, I've seen people get on this, guys, on Obamacare, because Obamacare is just based on, you know, having super low income. But what you might not know is there's no verification of verifying this income. So for an example, we had a call center back in 2012, 2013, and we were actually going to have a division of our office that was going to be doing signups for Obamacare going into, I think it was 2013. And the problem was the income is stated income. So you guys remember what happened with stated income and stated documentation in the mortgage days. The fucking bubble popped so bad, and the foreclosure boom kicked in to where we're still seeing the effect of that administration that was doing the no doc loans. I mean, Bill Clinton wanted everybody to have a house, but not everybody deserves a house. Simple as that. People work harder than others. People go to school. I get not everybody has a fair chance, but everybody has the ability to put in time and effort. So now you've got these issues with, they might be taking away the healthcare. And, you know, give you an example, my girlfriend, she works full time. She busts her ass. She has no kids. She's technically single. She manages 2 different sport clips. It's like a men's hair cut place. And she makes decent money. You know, she brings home about, after taxes and everything, she brings home $700-800 a week. And she doesn't qualify for any of the Obama healthcare or, you know, assisted healthcare, food stamps. Doesn't qualify for any of that. Getting out of prison, times were tough. She got denied for all of that stuff. She also went to federal prison. She got out, was able to start working right away, started hustling, making money, you know, surviving. However, she didn't qualify for any of the healthcare, and that's not okay. She doesn't qualify, but at the same time, she can't really afford the healthcare that's out there that you pay for. So she's kind of stuck in this between a rock and a hard place. She makes too much money to qualify for the Obama healthcare, but she doesn't make enough money to go out and get her own halfway decent insurance. The only insurance she could actually get was the deductibles are so high that you've got to be able to come out of pocket 10, 15, 20 grand before you can even use these premiums that you're spending $300 or $400 a month on. So now here's somebody that's working, doesn't have kids, being responsible, not going out there populating the world with kids that she can't take care of. And at the end of the year, she gets no money back on her taxes because they say she's single. She doesn't have all those other worries. But they come after her and say, we're also taxing you. We're going to charge you, I think it was $600 and something for not having medical insurance. So when you look at it from like a real bird's eye point of view, and you're not just focusing on yourself and how it benefits you directly or doesn't benefit you directly, and you look at like, is this really good for the masses? Fuck no, it's not. It's good for the people that are going to go out, lie, manipulate, stay lazy, don't try to get a job, don't want to do anything, but yet they're the first ones to raise their hand thinking minimum wage should be $14, $15 an hour. Come on. What that's going to do is it's going to put small businesses out of business, because a small business can't necessarily afford $12, $13, $14, $15, $16 an hour. Minimum wage jobs are designed for people that are supposed to be getting out of school. They're putting themselves through school. It's a stepping stone onto what's better and what's next. That's what college degrees are supposed to be all about. That's a whole other subject on student loans and everything else. But the opportunity in this country, if you actually take it and look at all the immigrants that have come over here. I'm talking legal immigrants, not people that sneak over. Look at the legal immigrants that came over and made a future for themselves, opening up restaurants. You ask them how they were able to open a restaurant. They'll tell you. They came over here, they lived in a house with probably nothing. They rented a room with friends and family, and they saved every penny they made to go open up a business, because they knew what a real struggle was like. They came over here and it's a land of free and land of opportunity. And you got all of these people that don't want to work. And it's mostly people in the country. It's not the immigrants that are coming over here stealing your jobs. The immigrants are coming over willing to do the job that you don't want to do, because you can go get minimum wage working at some low-end level job and make enough money along with your subsistence that you're getting from federally governed agencies that are promoting this kind of just sabotaging our own country. You know, it's frustrating and it's kind of disgusting to see. We're so focused on reality TV and the Super Bowl. I mean, no one really pays attention to what they can actually do to better their lives. And it's because you watch all these movies, like there's a cartoon that came out a few years ago called Wall-E. That's the future of the American person. Overweight, lazy, don't want to get out of your chair. You got a pair of goggles on, living in a virtual reality world where you can escape your reality with TV. I'm not saying, you know, stop watching TV. That's not what this message is about. This message is about is wake up and realize that moderation is key. You want to watch some TV, go set a time for it. But everyone's so worried about black and white and, you know, what's President Obama, you know, that it's like people didn't want to vote for Donald Trump because the women wanted Hillary. Most of the market out there of the gay people wanted Hillary because she supports gay marriage. I'm not against gay marriage. I can't vote because I'm a felon. But if I could have voted, I would have voted for Donald Trump. I did vote for Barack Obama, and I feel like that was a mistake. But the thing is people are too focused on the wrong issues. Shouldn't be the president's. Who cares if the president's for or not for gay marriage? Is the president going to make your country safe? Is he going to help build a strong economy? Is he going to tear out the cancers of the society and replace it with, you know, do or be done? You know, you want all these healthcare, you want all these options out there. Okay, get drug tested for it. And you know, that's not the answer. Of course it is. It's a start. You know, if you want something that everybody wants, who doesn't want free healthcare? This country does not offer free healthcare, and it offers it to the people that truly, absolutely will need it, and they will always be able to get it. But those of you that are out there saying you deserve it because they do it in other countries, well, guess what? Go to another country that will give you what you're looking for. There's a reason why you're still here. And it's not because you're not getting free healthcare. It's because you got it made here. You can earn what you want here, and people aren't going to take it away from you. Now, the whole topic on crime, you know, that's got to change from the ground up. That's got to start with, you know, you're not going to have Donald Trump go, boom, all of a sudden it's done and over and it's changed. You've got your locally governing bodies that have to start making these changes on state and federal regulation levels on who they're deciding to go after, who they're prosecuting, what's the real intentions of prosecuting somebody. When you look at a lot of these people that are being prosecuted to, I mean, an exorbitant amounts of time, and you really kind of like analyze it, you got to wonder, is this prosecutor, is this attorney, is this person just trying to move up in the rank? And the way they do that is by prosecuting as many people as possible. It's kind of becomes a numbers game, and it's not about right or wrong. It's not about this person deserves this amount of time. It's about we can do it, we can get away with it, and prison's a business, right? So who doesn't want to grow their business? So once you start looking at stopping profitizing prisons, then maybe this will change. When there's not as much profit in just locking people up, when you make it more of an expense to the federal government, you make it more of an expense to local authorities on who they're locking up, maybe then they'll be a little bit more picky on who they're willing to lock up and for how much time. Federal prison for guys going to camps and lows, mediums, and even really in the pens, people find a way to survive and live this lifestyle. And you know, I'll tell you from my point of view, from a low, it sucked. And the worst part about going to federal prison was before you went, the anxiety of actually thinking about what it was going to be like. But getting there and actually wrapping your mind around what's there and what there is to do, in a low security federal prison in Florida. You got sun, you got palm trees, you got a half-a-mile track, you've got a gym, you've got music rooms, you've got 15 billiard tables, you've got, what do you call it, foosball, you have ping pong, they've got cotton candy on the weekends, they got bands outside playing on the weekends. The only thing it's missing is a cold beer and some women running around. Other than that, it's an escape from reality. You've got flat screen TVs everywhere. You got guys getting in great shape. And this is where they're locking us up. Because if they were to make it a torturous place and you're locking up that many people, imagine the violence that would riot out in prisons. I mean, it happens in a lot of the rougher places in state and the pens because they don't have that type of funding to make it a club fed. I've heard people on here say, oh, federal prison's not club fed. And I've heard people going to federal prison that are making these statements. Yes, tennis courts. Yes, volleyball courts. Yes, basketball courts. Yes, full-fledged softball fields with the fences, with the dugout, with the clay, out there raking it in the mornings, football fields. All of this stuff is there in federal prison. And you get there and you're like, is this really where I have to spend my time? Because this isn't that bad. I miss my family. I miss my kids. I miss the things that I want to do. But you deal with a little bit of the time restraint they have on you during the day where you got to go to count. You got to go, do certain things at a certain time. But there are so many hours to go out there and just be a kid and not have responsibility. That's part of the problem in federal prison is people get used to this mentality where they don't have to, they don't really have strong responsibilities. The responsibility is to wake up, make sure your clothes are halfway decent, take care of your room, which is, depends where you are, whether it's a cell, a dormitory style or a cubicle style, whatever it is, it's not very big. It takes you about 2 seconds to clean it up. You've got your locker with your food in it. You've got your clothes in your bed. Some people can't even take care of that stuff. But if you got a little bit of common sense and a little bit of drive and ambition in life, you can take care of your room pretty much no problem. That keeps the guards off your back. The other thing you have to worry about is getting yourself into stupid trouble. You stay away from the cell phone, stay away from the drugs. And some people, easier said than done. But if you can do those simple things and engage with people that are like-minded like you can have a great federal prison experience, a great one. You can meet great people. You can make great friends. You can have some awesome stories to talk about. You can grow a YouTube channel from it. It opens up opportunity. You just don't know it going into it because they don't tell you about that part of it. They don't want to bring light to that part of it because if they did, you, the regular person out there that's not going to federal prison, would be like, why am I spending any of my tax dollars on putting people in prison like this? There would be more of an issue about it because it's not really doing anything to punish. The punishment is you're in prison. I guess you have to go there to really experience it. I hope none of you go unless you're already, going. But it's frustrating just to see how one-sided, how closed-minded so many people are. A lot of you saw this video, right? It was a really cool video with the black teacher that had the kids coming in. He was doing a little routine with each child coming in, had a different handshake, a different little move for him. And it was amazing. This guy found an amazing way to connect with kids at school. Got tons of views, YouTube, Facebook. This is actually done. He wasn't even the first guy that originated, and the first guy that originated it was another teacher about 5 or 6 years ago. And it just got redone by this guy, and it was amazing. And I think every teacher should be out there doing this with their kids or stuff like this. If it's working and you're connecting with children in school on a level other than teacher, student, rules. You find a way to connect because not every child learns the same way. Not every child respects authority. They can have a rough home life. They may not. So when they see a teacher that's doing these types of things, I think it breaks down some barriers and it allows the student to maybe come to the teacher and ask questions and talk to them about problems and learn at a different rate. So now you got this lady, another teacher, white lady. She decided to, did the exact same thing that he did, same camera angle, everything, even a lot of the same moves. And the kids, you look at the kids, they were enjoying it. Yet you've got people on social media that are up in arms about this because the white lady stole the black man's whatever it was, whatever they want to call it. And I've seen so many comments on Facebook about it. You can go look it up right now, and it's just nothing but black people can't have anything for themselves. Come on, get over this racism. If your concern should be, are your kids learning in school? Who cares what the tactic is? Is it working? And who cares who originated the idea? I think everybody should go out there and steal it. If it's working, great. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You don't need to reinvent stuff. So seeing this social media divide, the focus is on the wrong freaking thing. The focus should not be about black and white and this and that. And Donald Trump hates Muslims. And where's the proof in that? Just because he's trying to lock down everything right now to reevaluate, to make sure that you're here, you're supposed to be here, that you're not here on any kind of shadiness, that your visas are legal, everything is, that's all he's doing right now. Is there's a protocol in place to make sure. We've got too much craziness going on in our country without knowing what's going on. We can't just keep letting everybody in that's not supposed to be here. Well, that has nothing to do with Muslim or wherever you're from. This has to do with, are you supposed to be in the country? And if you're not supposed to be in the country, then you shouldn't be here. We can't take care of our own people. We have our own children starving in the streets. We have our own people that are homeless. We have our own issues. Now we're supposed to take on the world's issues as well. No one's saying we can't be sympathetic to these other countries and their issues, but how can we help somebody if you can't help yourself first? And we talked about this in RDAP. I may have the best intentions to want to do everything in the world for my friends and family when I get out of prison. But if I can't first take care of myself, how am I supposed to be concerned about taking care of you? Because it's just going to fail. It's a broken system when you look at it that way. I think people want to have something to complain about. People want to go out and be angry for something because it allows them to detour from their own shortcomings in life and their own issues. It's not a black or white thing. It's an American thing. I think that's pretty simple. So yeah, so what else you guys got going on out there? I know a lot of you are going to be probably looking at going to federal prison in the next several months, the next year. And the idea of going to federal prison, guys, is definitely really scary because you don't know what's next. You don't know what to expect in federal prison. And I say federal prison because most people that are probably watching the video or that will watch the video are people that are more than likely going to be going to federal prison. The thing that you got to focus on right now is here and now. What are you actually doing to prepare for federal prison? Worrying goes without saying. You're going to worry, you're going to stress. You can't not do those things. But how much homework you've actually done? Like, what do you really know about federal prison? Most of you should have a good idea if you're going to a camp type of a security level or a pen type of security level. Most of you have an idea as to where you're going. You might not be 100% certain, and if you're not positive that you're going to camp, chances are, worst case scenario, you might be going to a low. So when you can break it down to that, you have to look at, okay, what's a camp like? What's a low like? What am I going to expect in prison? And I pretty much just gave you a good outlook of and I went to a federal low. I wasn't at a camp. I was at one security level higher than a camp. And it was a no-brainer. I mean, it was not rough. The minute you walk in, anxiety leaves. The things that people can be doing right now is really focusing on what you can do to minimize how much time you actually have to spend in the federal prison. Not the system. The system is, you're going to be in it for a while between halfway house, probation, things like that. But as far as how much time you're going to spend in federal prison behind those gates can partially have some play on it, deciding on what you do next with your time. Things that make a difference are your character reference letters, your personal narratives, how much halfway house time you can expose yourself for, qualifying for RDAP. And a lot of this is stuff you have to prepare before your pre-sentencing report or your pre-sentence investigation, your PSI, your PSR. Most of you know that term right now. So you need to be asking these questions now to what you can be doing to make sure these programs are going to be available for you. Because if you wait till you get to prison to actually start thinking and start putting your mind in at work, it might be too late. There might have been things that you needed to do that can't be done now. There might be things that needed to get said or not said during your PSR interview that can't be undone because you already did it. You know, exposing yourself properly now and opening up and asking questions, making phone calls, calling me, you know, 509-434-4695, or shooting me an email to rdapdan@gmail.com. Those are the things that potentially will make your sentence an easier journey, a more productive one. Well, I hope some of you got a chance to watch this video. It's just a quick little thought. I was, you know, reading some stuff last night about everyone's freaking out because President Trump is talking about getting rid of a lot of the federally governed programs, whether it be healthcare, whether it be not looking into prison reform as strong. But I think if you guys really look at the real problem, that's not the problem. That's not even close to the problem. So with that said, guys, I hope you all have an amazing day, and maybe I'll do more of these live videos if you guys request them and you guys enjoy it. This is it's my first one. I did one other one, it's just weird. Just, you know, when you make the other videos, you can edit them and take out all the stuff that you don't want to do. So being conscious of a live video, it's like talking to a live audience. You start getting a little stage fright. Not that I have stage fright, but I don't want to be ranting and talking forever. So we're going to end it right there. All right, guys, rdapdan, like my videos, share them, subscribe to my channel, grow the community. Community's method, rdapdan. Take it easy.